Job ain't finished. Job ain't finished. Make sure you come ready to go this next week.
How about those?
Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar podcast, presented by Chiefs Blitz and sponsored by Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Group. If you're looking for a real estate expert, call Eric Haynes today at 816-729-3785. That's 816-729-3785. Now, here is your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd.
Welcome back to another edition of Four Guys in a Bar, presented by ChiefsBlitz.com, your number one source for information on the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm your host, Nick Athan, alongside Mr. Hense Todd with Bowtie Sports. Check out a show every Saturday at 1 o'clock with Coach Dre, and they talk all things Chiefs in Kansas City sports and a lot of great stuff. The Royals are on the verge of the postseason. The Chiefs have their first AFC West game this weekend against the Los Angeles Chargers. But before we get started, let's talk about our sponsors who make the wheels turn here at the Four Guys in a Bar podcast. First up, my good friend, Mr. Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Real Estate Group. If you're looking for someone that can help you buy or sell a house in the greater Kansas City metropolitan area, give Eric Haynes a call at 816-729-3785. Listen, interest rates are coming down. There's a lot of property out there. If you check out his website by just clicking on his image, you'll be able to see all his current listings right now. Maybe there's one out there that's fancy for you and your family, but either way, this is the guy that I trust. So give Eric Haynes a call today, 816-729-3785, or you can email him at esellskc@gmail.com.
Proud sponsor of Chief Who?
Another proud sponsor is my incredible, amazing wife, Emily Athan. If you're looking for health insurance, she's the person to call. November 1st through December 15th, open enrollment will be here. So she has options that are available. If you don't want a government plan, she has a private plan available. So you just want to get a free quote or get a free consultation, give her a call today at 913-215-9086.
Emily.
He loves Emily.
Yes, I do.
Is back in here.
Emily.
It's the guy at the bottom of the screen still hesitate to sing. But
Mr. Lou Montagna and Mr. Andre Tillman are joining the show as well.
Let's go.
The four compadres that comprise the guys in the bar are here. What a great time to be a sports fan in Kansas City. I can tell you that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody doing today. Is it Friday? Is it Red Friday? Nobody has no red on.
Sort of. There's a little bit of red there.
Yeah. Is there a Royals chant? Do they have a particular cheer that they?
I think it's the boys are back in town.
Yeah, the boys are back in town. That's probably the best way to put it. Or they're back in the playoffs, at least. I mean,
damn, the boys are back in town, huh?
The bus boys.
Yeah,
I think that's the they never go.
That's the Beach Boys or the bus boys.
I think it was the Bus Boys, right?
The Bus Boys.
Well, I think there's a couple of different versions, but the Bus Boys definitely that one rocks. Yeah. That's the one you want.
Yeah, it's pretty. Hey Lou, I'm gonna send you. I found something today on Twitter. I need to send it to you, but it was a story about Prince and Purple Rain, and how the song was originated and who it was originally for. It was pretty fascinating. It's a backstory in the song, so I'll send it to you, and then we can.
Was it Stevie Nicks?
Yeah, it was the Stevie Nicks thing. I never knew that. You obviously, you sounds like you do.
Yes,
that she got the song, and you could tell the story. I thought it was. I read that this morning. I thought, man, this is the most fascinating thing I've read about Prince. I just thought it was incredible.
Who was Stevie Nicks?
Excuse me?
Fleetwood Mac.
Well, it's an age thing. I mean, she was a really, really big star in the 80s, like around that time.
Okay.
So that's a pretty big deal that but he's done. I mean, he's done things with Sheryl Crow and many other artists. So not to go too deep into it, but it just there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. There's I don't know how much footage they had like a 9-part documentary that Netflix has, but now the estate it doesn't want them to release.
Yeah, they want more money.
There's a big to do about it, but yeah, I mean, hopefully that does get released, because I mean, you get a lot of behind the scenes stuff, obviously, that we may know or have some rumors about, but it'd be nice to get some confirmation of somebody that's done the research.
Yeah, it would be really great. But it's a great backstory, and as everybody knows, with the Four Guys in the Bar, we all love our music, and Prince was absolutely one of the very, very best to make us smile.
Yeah.
Welcome, man. Welcome to everybody that's joining in. What's up, Ruben, Jerome, and everybody else that's joining in. I can't hardly see on the other side, but thank you guys for joining in. We got a heck of a show lined up for today. We got Factor Cat, and we got the Cube. Will he go undefeated once again? I don't know. Do you want to put your bets on the Cube? I did, my brother-in-law did, and he won some money. So maybe you should. So what do y'all guys think about the game last night? Because it was the most boring game,
I'll take away Daniel Jones played well. No turnovers, played well, got him to the red zone, but my only hiccup was you didn't get 7. You got 3, but you didn't get 7. And I believe they should have beat the Cowboys.
The storm is still coming for the Cowboys. That kind of put their finger in the dam, if you would, for a minute. But on top of everything else, now it looks like Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence are missing time. Okay, they did hold the Giants out of the end zone, but again, it's the storm's coming for this Cowboys team. It's not very deep. It's a really thin roster. I mean, they've paid their stars. I mean, CD and Dak. They're probably going to pay Micah Parsons. So now that's really going to put a lot of pressure on their ability to draft, develop, and get guys rolling, because it's very difficult to make up for draft mistakes. To get those, $10 or $12 million players when you're paying 3 guys, close to $120 million a year once it's all said and done. So, we'll see. It wasn't a great game. I like this. Malik Neighbors is a budding star. I think he may already be there in terms of the Giants, but Daniel Jones was okay. He didn't make any big plays, but he didn't turn it over either. So maybe there is some a gleam for Giants fans, because they do have the makings of some good units. Their defensive line is pretty good. Their offensive line is better than average. You've got a pending superstar in Neighbors. So Dable, I think, is a good coach. So maybe this year they go hard for a quarterback and see if that lifts them up a little bit.
You think the Giants need a quarterback?
I think that Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. I think with a better quarterback, they'd be a really good team.
Yeah.
If you look at the game, it was a couple of drop passes in that game too. That wasn't like on Daniels. Like he's putting the ball right there. It just
guys. Right. I didn't put anything on him or anything.
Yeah, I'm just saying though. But yeah. Because like I said, Neighbors played well too.
If you flip that around, if you put Dak on that team at quarterback, they would be really good. I think.
I just don't like. I don't know.
Yeah, I watched it back and forth, and Al Michaels I thought was fairly entertaining, making comments, about the game itself.
But, a lot of flags.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to get your perspective on, guys, is there is a rumor out there the Chiefs have some interest in Hyatt from the Giants, and I don't know how plausible it is, but they're looking for a younger wide receiver possibly before the trade deadline. I don't know if he's good enough, if he fits the system. I know the Chiefs were very high on him in the draft a couple of years ago, but would they be dipping in the well again and going after a Kadarius Toney kind of player, or
PTSD?
I just don't know what he's got.
PTSD. Jalen Hyatt. I mean, he was obviously a really good receiver at Tennessee, right? I mean, straight line speed, whatever. And I mean, we talked about it when, I don't know, the trade rumors had come up, or was it Graziano from ESPN had like kind of thrown it out there that the Chiefs were interested in a wide receiver. I still think Slayton does a lot of good things for them. He's just not very consistent. So I don't know that you're really upgrading at that point. Hyatt, there's something going on with him. He did something. He's been in the doghouse. I think the only time he really got on the field is when Neighbors got hurt at the end. Mm-hmm. If he did get some snaps earlier in the game, I didn't notice him. So they would have to do a little bit of research there just to see what the problem is with him in New York, because he was a high pick, but he doesn't even play.
It's not leading to expectations.
Something's going on.
Yeah, I think he's just not leading to expectations. That's how some of these players already get drafted, man. Like, you draft them high and they get to the league, man. They don't meet expectations.
Right.
That's how
he was one of my guys that was high on my board last year. So if that's true and the Chiefs are interested in it, I love it. He's a guy from Tennessee. The Cowboys was interested in him, but I don't think they went up for him. I was banging the drum to the Chiefs to get him last year, but with the draft, it was like the year before that.
Yeah, it was 2022, I think.
Yeah, and I thought he'd be a great fit, but if that's true, hey, why not?
Yeah.
Hey, more speed. Hey, more speed.
He's tall too, right? What, 6'3", 6'4"?
Yeah, I mean, very athletic dude. I mean, he's a lot of the skills that they're looking for. Again, you can't. The part that just concerning is the fact that he doesn't even play that much. So it's something
he was targeted one time.
Maybe something between he and Dable or the entire offensive staff. He's done something to kind of piss them off, because again, he doesn't even get on the field, right. And it's not like they have got a ton of great receivers. I mean, Wan'Dale Robinson, God bless him, but he's small and he's not a very consistent player. So,
Hyatt is 6 foot even.
Yeah. So
I thought he was taller, but okay.
Yeah, I'm not. And again, if it was something cheap and they were just looking to get rid of him, that would be one thing.
Yeah, 6th, 7th round pick, conditional. Something like what they gave up for McCole Hardman to come back.
Yeah, I don't know that they're giving him away like that. I think they would just ride it out and say, hey, let's see if we can get something out of this kid before we just.
It depends on how the season between now and the trade deadline and the Giants and where they're at. I mean, they could be looking for a new head coach by that time, so we'll see.
We'll see. Hey, but if it does happen, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? If it don't happen, then we'll just see what we have. But but this game coming up, man, with the Chargers and the Chiefs, before we're gonna get into later in the show, but it's a lot of injuries that's out there on the Chargers. A lot of people, saying that, hey, this person was moved before, for Travis Kelce have a big game, and this is and that. I'm looking for be a big game, a big turnaround for. They say Adams was removed.
So Derwin James got suspended for a game in response to the fact that Kelce was going to go up against him, which he had. I mean, he's had huge games no matter what. Yeah,
he's beaten him pretty bad
in terms of Derwin James. But the injuries you can't get away from. You got arguably two best players on the team outside of the quarterback. It's Slater and Alt out.
Yep.
I mean, that's going to make a huge difference to your team. I don't care who you are. If you take away your two starting tackles, that's brutal. And then on the defensive side, and the same thing, it seems like it's the same thing every week. Joey Bosa may or may not play. I mean, it's just, that's been the same forever as well. So I don't know how much that really makes sense. Or again, it's just internet trolls trying to go on narratives and make shit up for the most part. I mean, quite frankly. And so, yeah, I'm not buying any of that. It is, like you said, the first AFC West game. Everybody gets injured. We've got injuries. They've got injuries. Hey, just got to go play ball.
Yep.
100%.
And that's coming up. That's coming up after that's coming up after Cubed, and then we got Fact to Cap. So let's get right into Fact to Cap. Lou,
wow, we're striking up the band early today.
All right,
here we go, gang. It is that time. Strike up the band, Hensley. You know where we're going here. It's Factor Cap. And this is going to be a very special edition of Factor Cap, where, as Coach says, we are getting out the glaze hose because we are celebrating Patrick Mahomes' 100th start in the NFL. And I'm sure if it's no news to anybody out there that he has smashed pretty much every quarterback starting records up through 100 games. Many of them he's broken before he's got even close to 100 games. But yeah, so last week the record was he won his 77th game in 99. So that's the record now for most at 100. So the statement is this: the record who he broke was a tie between one Tom Brady and Joe Montana. Fact or cap?
I'll say fact.
Yeah, I think that's fact. Well, I know Brady's one. I'm thinking Montana's two.
No, there was a tie between two players, and those are the two
Right.
that we're saying.
Meaning they're number two together.
Yes.
Fact.
I'd go fact.
Okay, so
Barry says cap.
Patrick now is number one. The two prior to that was Brady and actually Roger Staubach, the guy with the star for the Dallas Cowboys. So
Right.
So that's one of them. So and the other thing is we keep talking about this offense and where things are going, right? Oh, we're gonna be this high flying offense, and are we or aren't we? So I looked at some stats, and Patrick in his first 99 games has 9 games of 400 yards plus. Fact or cap?
I would go fact.
Fact. There we go.
I'll go fact.
Okay. He actually has 10.
Oh.
10 games of 400
Guess we
or
don't know much
more
about our
yards.
quarterback.
Okay. And it's been fairly consistent, right? I mean, these are for the seasons. 18, there was 1, 19, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then there was his last one. Okay. Now this is just a straight trivia question. When was his, like, what particular game, which week, you can put it that way, was his last 400-yard game?
Oh wow.
Hensley.
Shoot. It's been a while. I'll say it was against I know it's like 2 years ago against the Steelers, I'll say.
Okay. Nick.
I'm going to say Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
Did you look that up, sir?
No, I'm just saying, I'm spewing it off the top of my head because Sammy Watkins had a big game that day. So,
All right.
Last game. Oh wow. I don't know. I'm clueless.
All right. So his last 400-yard game was actually Game 7 of last year versus the same Los Angeles Chargers.
I figured I had it.
is that the overtime game? Yep.
That's
Gotcha.
Man, I was going there too. I was going there.
All right. So then the other stat is 4 TD passes or more per game. Okay. So in his career to date, Patrick has 19 games of 4 touchdown passes or more. Fact or cap?
I'll say fact.
I'm going to go cap just to take the other side.
I'll go fact.
Okay, so if you say cap, you got to give us how many?
Oh, I do? It's a double question for me.
Said, oh, dude.
I'll say 16.
Okay. Coach?
Oh no, I said fact.
Fact. Okay. He actually has 7. He actually has 17. Nick, you were right. Just very close on the number of games.
Off the top of the head, Nick.
All right.
To my boy Lenny Dawson. That's all.
So when was the last time he had 4 touchdowns or more? Hensley.
Shoot. Last year.
Okay.
Last year, when what you want? What game?
Whatever week. You don't have to say the team. Just whatever week it might be.
I'll say week 7 last year.
Okay.
Man, I want to say the Raiders game in Kansas City. Was it in Kansas City? I'm just gonna say Raiders.
Well, they play him at both places each year.
Well,
so
yeah,
yes.
but I'm trying to remember which one. I
answer is
remember he had a
yes.
game. He had 4 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go the Raiders Chiefs game.
All right,
at Arrowhead.
Coach.
I'm thinking. Hold on. I'm gonna go Chargers.
Okay, look at these guys. Hensley last week in the same game he threw for 424. He had 4 touchdown passes. So it was week 7 last year against these same Chargers. So yeah, Patrick. It's pretty amazing. I guess kind of the run that he's been on, and it's just. You're waiting for that next Patrick-like game, right? He hasn't had one.
He hasn't had one in a while.
Right. So do you have any idea when his last 300-yard game was?
That was Super Bowl.
Well, just regular season at this point.
Last 300 game. I'll say week 1 against the Detroit Lions.
Okay, well, we had the 400 is also a 300, but so it's probably after week 7, if you know.
So I'll say
it's like somebody leading the blind here.
Because the man broke so many records, man. He threw for so many yards in each game. It's just like, I don't know, man. It's crazy. I don't know, man.
So with regular season, Virginia. So that he did that in the Super Bowl.
She's got a good guess. Ruben's got a good guess. The Bears.
So do you guys have anybody else going to guess or no?
I go. Not Chicago. It was a game where I know what game it was. It was a game after Chicago. But I don't remember what game it was.
New York Jets.
I say Denver.
Okay.
No, he didn't.
All right.
He didn't come close in Denver.
So last year, game 14 at New England, he had 305 yards and 2 touchdowns. So that was the last time he threw for 300. Obviously, off to a little bit of a slower start. Again, stat-wise this year, they're 3-0, and that's great. So speaking of 3-0, we've got Minnesota, Seattle, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, and our Kansas City Chiefs are at 3-0. And it's a pretty high likelihood that these teams make the playoffs. But the statement is this: only 2 of these teams are going to make the playoffs. Fact or cap?
I would say looking at the board, I would say fact. Only 2 of them will make the playoffs.
Which 2 do you think?
I'll say it's going to be the Chiefs and Seahawks.
All right. Nick.
I'm going cap. I mean, the Seahawks are going to win the division. Steelers are going to win their division. The Chiefs are going to win their division. So that's at least 3.
Wow,
and I'd probably
going out on a limb here.
I'd probably split the other 2. More than likely, Buffalo will. But I could see all 5 of them making the postseason.
Same thing. I could see all 5 of them going to the playoffs. I can see all 5 of them.
I'm going to a little bit of cap here, but I just see 3. I see Buffalo, Kansas City, and Minnesota.
Really?
I still don't believe in the Steelers. I mean, the defense is pretty good, but again,
but what's the question? But what's the question? Only 2 going to make?
Yeah, only 2 are going to make it. So I said cap. I took 3.
Yeah.
Okay,
I gotcha.
But my point is, I think the Steelers. I mean, that game, even like they're playing against Justin Herbert on one leg, and it was like 10-10, right? Yeah. I mean, it's not like they're dominating anyone. Now the defense has played really well. Justin Fields is playing so far over.
He was so good in the second half.
Maybe this is really him. I don't know. Maybe that division is just a little wonky right now with the way the Ravens record is, the way the Bengals are, but I think both those teams are going to have resurgences. So I'm going to stick with those three: Minnesota, Buffalo, and Kansas City. So
all right,
there you have it. This week's Factor Cap. Thanks for playing along. And Patrick, 100th game. Well done, young man. I think he's the youngest at 10,000 yards passing, to 20 yards, 20,000, 25. He's going to be the youngest of 30,000. I think Matthew Stafford has that one, but unprecedented.
We're spoiled, man. We are so spoiled.
Great to see 15 doing his thing for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey, you have me stuck there because, like Dre said, Patrick Mahomes has a lot of yards and a lot of games that he done it in, and you got to sit there and say which one it was. You got to really think.
Well, how was it that in 2018 he had 7 of his 4 touchdown pass games, 7 in one season, and
Chargers, Pittsburgh back to back,
and in 2 of them he had 6.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to witness one of them in Pittsburgh. That was fun.
Yeah. He just been dominating for so long. We like you said, Nick, y'all be getting spoiled. Yeah. Now he's regressing.
No matter what he does, it's not as good as what we remember him.
No, it doesn't. You're right. That's why Andre thinks he's regressing.
Don't try to slip that in there, sir. Don't try to slip that.
He's not putting the numbers up.
Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just
doesn't matter.
It's too early though.
Coach has a list. He's got a teleprompter in front of him. I mean, this is no lie, of statements that are triggering to the other 3 guys and Chiefs Kingdom. And then at random times, he gets that little shitty grin on his face and he'll just throw one out there. And it's usually about Joe Burrow or the Chiefs aren't physical.
I haven't spoken on JB in a minute.
What else? Patrick's, he's not as good as he used to be. Yeah. So there's a bunch of them.
Listen, I gotta be sour though. I gotta be sour, man.
Yeah, that's great.
It's too sweet in here. It's too sweet.
He's taking to the national narrative.
I'm sweet. He's sour.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? Too much sweetness on the show.
Chicken. We're all kinds of chicken down here.
That's right.
Sauce, some hot sauce, sweet and sour. Come on.
Yeah, Jerry. Come on, man. Stop.
Continue, sir. Continue.
But talking about Patrick Mahomes, man, there's nothing more you can like Drake said. Like, he broke all the records, and it's like,
he broke all the records.
Like, he got shoes, he got cereal, he got drinks, he got commercials. He has. Have
you ever tried both his cereal, sir?
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't. He's still in the box.
Have you taken a sip of that Prime drink?
No, I don't know if this.
Hey, how's that Prime drink?
it was pretty good. I'll say that it was pretty good.
It's pretty sour.
Is it more Captain Crunch or is it more cornflakes?
Yeah,
he poured it out.
It's an acquired taste. You had to go to the bottom of the bottle.
Damn.
Just give it a good shake.
Shake it up, right? You supposed to shake it up first.
It up a little.
That's what happened. That's what happened. Both got to shake it up first.
I didn't shake it up.
That's what it was.
I bet you do a lot.
Hey, you keep this show PG, sir.
So with that said, man, before we get into the next segment, man, but like Dre said, man, like looking at all his records, man, it's much more you can't say. Many. Like he didn't broke them all,
man. He's so many.
He didn't broke them all.
Well, to this point, I mean, he's got his eyes on the kind of like the all-time marks that are out there for him, and if he stays healthy, he probably and continues on this path, he's probably going to reach them. But for again, that first 100 games, the youngest to this, the youngest to that, all those for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. So with that said, let's get into our sponsor before we get into the cube.
All right, let's do it.
Canes infomercial. Let's go.
Hey, commercials. Hey, first up, my good friend, Mr. Eric Haynes, with the Eric Haynes Real Estate Group. If you're looking for someone who can walk you through the entire process of buying or selling a house, there's nobody I trust more than Eric Haynes. He took care of both Emily and myself, and he was able to make sure that we got the deal we wanted. I highly recommend him. He's a big Chiefs fan, and of course, if he closes the house for you, either selling or buying, I will give away one of my signature Len Dawson items. 816-729-3785 or email him at esaleskc@gmail.com.
Proud sponsor of Chief Who?
Yes, indeed. Another proud sponsor is my incredible wife, Emily Athan. If you're looking for a custom health insurance quote, she is the person. If you want someone to analyze your current health insurance and see if there's a better option out there that's less expensive with a lower deductible, if you need someone to help you through the open enrollment period, she can do that as well. So give her a call today at 913-215-9086.
Emily. See what I did, gentlemen. See, I called Lou. Me and Lou was on the same accord. Now, Bo, you threw us off.
Hey, I'm the guy in the back of the choir, man.
Where was the Nikki part? We lost the Nikki part.
I was trying to keep everybody on
once again warming up for that Nick Athan roast.
Yeah,
warming up.
Boy, is that going to be a day. That might be the final episode of this show. But if it is, we're going down with a bang.
I hope not. Yes.
Man,
But let's get right into it. Hey, the Cube been right. If you not watched it, the Cube been, striking up stuff.
That was the most edited show I've ever seen. I think.
Wait, I'm just going to do the winners. It's so much for the losers.
Games on the slate. I think you counted about 6.
He said that was the most edited show.
It wasn't edited. And once I said the Cube did, it did.
He dove right into that video and edit everything, every angle of that segment.
Hey, no. I mean, the winners were winners. No question.
Absolutely,
there was a bunch of other games I didn't hear in that show, but that's all right.
And Lou, you're not gonna hear it. You're not
Stick
gonna
with the positive. Man. Stick with the positive.
I mean, what are you sipping on right there, sir? What were you just sipping on?
Vitamin water.
Where's the Prime at, man?
Yeah,
it's gone. I drunk it.
I bet you did. I bet you did.
You got to get them buy those. By the case,
hey, the Prime is pretty good, and also that Brittany Mahomes drink. Hey, have you bounced?
You didn't put 2 products on this screen. Where's Prime, and then you guzzling some vitamin water, sir.
Hey, wherever comes first to sponsor.
Well, speaking of sponsors, can we put a for sale sign up in front of Chief Who? And nothing against Eric, but we may want to get somebody else's face on the show at some point. Can we put that up for sale?
Which part? No, we do what we have to do.
Eric, can you help me sell Chief Who?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes.
So with that said, let's get right into the Cube. Hey. If you ain't got your
sinister looking face,
if you ain't got your bets in, if you want to place your bets with the right man, and put your luck on the Cube, why not? Because the Cube has been right. As you've seen it on YouTube, the Cube has been right so far. So, guys, looking at these games that's coming up, guys, it's a lot of games that's happening this Sunday.
16 every week. Until the bye weeks come.
Yes. This is 16 every week. Well, we already know what happened with the Giants. Let's get right into it. We're going to go this round, rapid fire, and you're going to say, do you put your luck on the Cube and put your money on the Cube to get this game right? So I'm going to go first, and y'all go next after that. All right? We have the Atlanta Falcons versus the Saints, and the Cube says, as I rub the Cube says the Atlanta Falcons will win this game. Do you agree with that, Nick?
I do agree with that one. I think they learned their valuable lesson against the Chiefs. I think the Saints are reeling after the loss, so I'm going to back you, buddy. I'm going with the home team here.
Drake, test your faith.
Very pensive.
I don't trust that Cube. So I'm gonna say I don't know, because this is a divisional game, and I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna go with Saints though. I'm gonna take New Orleans, man. I'm gonna go with Cam Jordan and them guys.
All right, this is one of my best bets. For those of you keeping track, last week the best bets were 5-0, and this is a little bit. This might be a thing. Hensley may have mentioned it before, but I did a little bit of digging. I remember when the teams that played the week after they play San Francisco, we're having some issues, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's turned into a thing. The week after the teams play the Chiefs, that one loss turns into two. So I'm going to go with New Orleans here. Plus 1.5 or 2 points.
Nice. I like the reasoning.
All right, that's a good reasoning, But as looking at this Bengals game against Carolina, my heart says the Bengals, but the cube says Carolina is going to take this game. What do you say, Nick?
The red rifle.
You know what? The red rifle, to me, I think this is the best NFL theater you could ask for. There's Andy Dalton thrown to the scrap pile, goes to the Panthers, has this supposed wonder kid in front of him, goes to the Raiders and beats them up. He goes against the team that drafted him, the team that could never win in the postseason, but we won a lot of really big regular season games. I think the Bengals are going to be 0-4. I'm going with the Panthers. I don't care what the point spread is.
Jerry, here's your fate. What are you going to pick, sir?
Well, my fate is this. I like Carolina. I like Mingo. I like Leggett. I like Johnson over there. I got to think with Carolina too. But I'm a JB guy, so I got to go with my Bengals. Got to go with my Bengals.
All right, this is not a best bet in any stretch. That I would stay away from this game. Not even close. But I think I'm going to take the Bengals. I think that was maybe some found luck in Las Vegas. Maybe they hit the tables the night before, and Andy was just on a heater. Coach Pierce talking about guys making business decisions for his own team. I'm going to say Bengals get off the schneid here. They get their first win.
Oh,
all right.
That's nice. But also, speaking of first wins, will Chicago get their first win here? Or will LA build on what they did with the 49ers? But looking at it, the Cube are saying that Chicago will win this game by 2 scores. Caleb Williams is going to look like the Caleb Williams back in college. So I'm feeling like the Bears will win this game. And also the Cube said, put your money on the Bears.
Well, the Greek, Jimmy the Greek here, is going to say this is a 9-9 overtime game.
Can we just
and it's
say
going to stay 9-9. Don't bet this game. Don't go anywhere near it. I'm predicting a tie.
Keep it Nick the Greek.
Nick the Greek, that's right.
I like that better.
I was on me because usually I was waiting for the man to call me out now, but he didn't say nothing.
We go in this stacked order.
Well, the Cube was wrong again slightly because the Bears did win a game before, sir. Is the Bears going to win their second game? All right, they're going to be second game, player. I'm going to say this. I think the Bears get it done. I think right now with the Rams right now, it's still kind of banged up, still kind of nicked up, and I like Caleb and these weapons against the Rams defense, so I'm gonna take the Bears on this one.
Okay. Yeah, another one. Definitely not a best bet here. Rams are really beat up. The Bears. I mean, the only thing I can say about them is they're playing at home, and Caleb seems to be getting a little bit better, but they can't run the ball, which is amazing because it seemed like last year they were actually running the ball fairly well. This is just a strange game. I'll take the home team, but I'm not putting any money on it.
By looking at it, you should have put your money on it because Q's been right.
All right.
And Q, you see him. He's turned his Q, but he's looked you in the face and said, place your bet, choose your fate. Hey, would you choose your fate against the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers? As I look at it, I think the Vikings may look like they can win this game, but the Cube said they would get their first loss. You know what I mean? So I say the Packers will go down here. Listen to me, guys. Place your money if you want to. Go back and watch the YouTube video. I've been right. So I say the Cube said,
keep talking, Hense. You're gonna have people coming to your house, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
Go ahead.
I think the Vikings are one of the best teams in the NFL.
Right.
I think going 4-0 is going to be really difficult. I like the way the Packers have responded since the loss of their starting quarterback Love and losing the opener against the Eagles. I'm going with the Packers here to establish some sort of regain some dominance in the division.
Well, Nick, whatever. Nick, you a Packers guy. I knew you was taking the Packers anyway. How you taking Packers? But I'm gonna say
I ain't gonna lie about it.
Flores, I like what Flores doing over there with that defense. Sam Darnold's playing lights out right now. That offensive line is playing phenomenal. Of course, they got Justin Jefferson, man. So I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Vikings, man, because right now with that line and that defense, man, sky's the limit. I got the Vikings.
Yeah, I love what Minnesota's done so far this year, and I just really like their team. I like their coach, everything about them. I just think that, again, going on the road for the first, I don't want to say first time, but the first divisional game, I just really think the Packers have kind of found a way to win. So whether it's Malik Willis or Jordan Love, in this case, obviously with Jordan Love, I'd like it even more. But this is another best bet. Green Bay -3. Hell, if you can get 2.5, go for 2.5. Obviously, 3, you want to get under that field goal. But yeah, give me Green Bay -2.5 or 3.
Well, now we get deep, right? You look at the Jaguars in Houston, right? You look at them like, was Houston just exposed by the Vikings, or is Jaguars that bad of a team? I would say this: Houston did get exposed, so the Jaguars will win this versus because the Cube is sent it. I'm putting out on the road. The Cube is going to be right again. Mark my words, Jaguars will lose. Nick, do you agree with that?
Wait,
I think at some point
Jags are going to lose.
The Jags are
Houston
going to
lose. Houston's going to lose.
So you're taking Jacksonville. I want to get that straight because Monday is going to be a very interesting day.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence has lost 8 regular season games in a row, and you got to think at some point that stretch is going to end. But their secondary is woeful. It's been beat up. I think this is about as close to a must-win for the Texans to reestablish themselves as the team to beat in the division. They look a little exposed right now. They've got some issues. And again, to rise to the level that they need to be the team of expectations and to deliver the goods is really difficult. So I'm going to say this is a field goal game in the final minute. I'm going to give a slight edge to the Texans.
I got Texans all the way. CJ just went against a good defense last week, and he still managed to throw over 200 yards, I believe. But against this secondary with Jacksonville Jaguars, man, I gotta go with Houston all day because I don't feel like their secondary can't match up with the receivers for the Texans. The Jacksonville Jaguars secondary can match up with the Texans.
Not a best bet, but I'll go with Houston
Texans,
here.
yeah.
I think they just had a bad day in Minnesota. This team's way too good.
Yeah, looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers versus Indianapolis Colts. The Colts ain't got no run game. Steelers has got a little bit of a run game. So the Cube is telling me this. I know it sounds crazy, but it ain't gonna be crazy. But yeah, it is crazy. The Steelers will win this game, guys. I ain't gonna get ready deep down into it. And why would you agree? Would you agree with that, Nick?
You know what? I'm gonna say the Colts are gonna have a resurgent game. I think they're going to play their best game of the season. I think the Colts will, I guess, technically an upset over the Steelers.
I'm gonna say I got Pittsburgh just because the Indianapolis Colts can't stop the run for real. They've been horrible against the run. Indianapolis do got a good good running game, but against TJ Watt and them guys, and we know how bad Anthony Richardson is. So that pressure, it gonna bust his pipe. So I got the Pittsburgh Steelers taking that.
All right.
Okay, third best bet here is you go with the home team and take the points. Yep. Mike Tomlin historically on the road as a dog is great. Mike Tomlin historically on the road as a favorite, not so good. Anthony Richardson, it's problematic. He'll make a couple wild plays, but I just have a feeling the Colts are going to play well at home and the Steelers get a little taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, I agree.
Looking at this Broncos and Jets games, it's really got interest because the Broncos did look good last week. You know what I mean? So it gets interesting, but I say the Broncos are just the shell of themselves, even though I picked them last week. But the Cube telling me that Aaron Rodgers is going to have a good game. So I always pick the Jets here. Do you agree with that, Nick?
I think we're going to learn a lot about Aaron Rodgers this week because I think the Broncos defense is really good, and I think it's a little underrated as to what they can do. Sam Darnold Bo Nix was incredible last week. He played like, he gets the system. Sean Payton's been working with him. He's got his whole career going forward based on Bo Nix. However, I think the Jets will prevail in this game, but I think this is going to be a one-score game with about 30 seconds to go. This is going to be a in-doubter till the very end.
I got the Jets. I got Aaron Rodgers all day. Aaron Rodgers, them boys is clicking. Hall, Wilson, that defense starting to play a little bit better than what they did last week. I got the Jets all day.
Yeah, not a best bet, but I'll take the home team here, Jets.
All right, we got the Philadelphia Eagles versus Tampa Bay. Hey, looking at that game against with the Saints and the Eagles, I wanted the Eagles coach fired. I wanted him fired for the play callers he was making, but the Cube said, "Hey, still put the money on the Eagles." So I take the Eagles in this game over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What you got to say about that?
Bucks probably the most disappointing game last week. Of the ones that I saw, I really thought that they'd hand it to the Broncos. They look flat. They took them for granted. They probably were looking ahead to the Eagles. If I'm not mistaken, they beat the Eagles in the postseason last year. So I'm going to go 2-0 for the Bucks. They're going to beat the Eagles.
I don't like Hurts for real. I don't believe in Hurts, but I do believe in Baker. I believe that was just a hiccup game for Baker and them boys. I got Tampa Bay taking it, man. I do believe in their offense.
Yeah, not a best bet here. I'll go with the Eagles. I just Saquon. They've seen once he gets rolling that he can be a dominant player. I mean, maybe even more. Maybe he looks, I think, even better than he did with the Giants at any time.
I agree, 100%. I agree with you.
That offensive line. So I'll go with the Eagles here. But again, not a best bet.
But looking at the Cardinals and Washington game, a lot of people didn't believe me about Jalen Daniels. Now everybody's jumping on bandwagons. You see it on their storyline. You see it on their Instagrams. You see it everywhere. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. But hey, I'm still on the bandwagon here. But I see the Cardinals losing this game to Washington Commanders. The Qs have this game. The Washington Commanders going to have a big game. What you say about that, Nick? Do you agree?
Commanders have gone through 2 straight games with no punts. They've scored on every possession, touchdown, field goal.
Return of Kingsbury.
And I think, and that too. I'm gonna go with Daniels another week. But I think this is going to be a shootout. This is kind of one of those 38-35 games in my view. But I just love Daniels. I was on board with you on that pick, and I think the Commanders are really something to take seriously.
Looking at both sides, they both scored at a high level. The boys match up yards and points, but the biggest issue is for the Commanders, their secondary is horrible, and they can't stop the run for real. So I'm gonna get the edge to my guys, Arizona. I got Arizona taking it.
Best bet number 4, the Birds. Washington right now is coming into this game way overvalued because of what happened on Monday night. The Cardinals, on the other hand, their 2 losses have come to Buffalo and Detroit, arguably the 2, could be 2 Super Bowl representatives later in the year. I like Arizona in this spot a lot. Hell, if you can get under 3, better for you, but I'll take Arizona -3. Best bet, number 4.
Oh, you got the New England Patriots going against the 49ers. A lot of people thinking the New England Patriots, just a done team. And the 49ers looking like they just a shell of themselves too. But it's going to be a battle of the coaches. So the Cube said the 49ers turn around this game and win this game. What you got to say with that, Nick?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is a bounce back game for them. They've got a lot riding on it. The news with McCaffrey is not good with his leg issues. He's probably not going to be back for a couple of months. They've got other injuries. They have to win this game, and I think they're the better coach team.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with you. I'm taking the Niners on this one. I think the running back right now is playing phenomenal right now too, man. And, they still got weapons. You know what I'm saying? Like Shanahan is a hell of a offensive coach. So I got the Niners.
Yeah, Niners for me.
Okay. Yeah. Looking at the Raiders, we're gonna say the Chiefs for last. We got the Raiders at the Cleveland. Now Cleveland's looking not that good. You know what I mean? They hit and miss. So Would you say the Raiders win this game? I don't know, but the Cube tells me they are going to win this game. So I will go with the Raiders here.
I don't know. I just saw something where Hendrickson might be out and Adams might be out. So that's going to make it really, really tough. Deshaun Watson, he's got to play well, but I think the Raiders are going to rebound and have a field goal win over the Browns.
I like Brock Bowers, guys. Nick, I like Brock Bowers. Man. I want to see what Brock Bowers is going to do. And Myles Garrett banged up, so we don't know what Myles Garrett is going to do. So that defense on that side, without Myles Garrett, they ain't the same defense. We still don't know about Deshaun Watson, man. The offensive line's playing horrible right now. He's playing inconsistent right now, but I do got faith in the Raiders, so I'll take the Raiders this game.
Yeah, that 4 o'clock window is looking pretty ugly. Eastern, that is. This is just, I don't know, flip a coin. I mean, these are just two teams that you almost question how much they actually want to play football. I mean, again, Antonio Pierce, I've said it 100 times. I mean, he openly questioned his own team. I'll take the Raiders just because they're at home, but I wouldn't go anywhere near this game with any money.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go with Sunday night, and we're going to save the other two. No, we'll go in. Sunday night, rapid fire. I'd say the touch in the cube is telling me that Baltimore will win this game. Derrick Henry is going to have a heck of a game, and they're going to see why. They're going to see why I said the Buffalo Bills is not making the playoffs.
I'm not going to say the Buffalo Bills won't make the playoffs, but I'm going to go with the Ravens too.
You know what? I like Josh Allen, man. Josh Allen won me over, man. His command of that offense, man, how he rolls and the weapons he have, and he making them better on the offensive side of the ball. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Josh Allen, guys, man.
Yeah, I'll go with the home team too. I mean, this is again a marquee matchup. This will probably be the highest rated game of the day. Hard to see the Ravens go down again and get down to like 1-3. They do tend to give leads away, which it's still fourth quarter, inexplicable because they run the ball so well. But I'm gonna stick with them, but not a best bet. But we'll go with the Ravens.
All right, the Monday night matchups: Tennessee Titans versus the Dolphins, and Dolphins don't know what they're gonna do at quarterback. But my heart is telling me to pick Tennessee. It's telling me, but the cube says no. The Dolphins will win this game.
You're supposed to follow your gut, man. You're supposed to follow your gut, man.
Hey, the cube said the Dolphins going to win. Would you agree?
I'm gonna pick the Dolphins for a completely different reason. I would like the Titans to be 0-4, and I'd like the Chiefs to send the pick they got from the Titans for DeAndre Hopkins, that 3rd-round pick, so they can put him in a Kansas City Chiefs uniform. So the more they lose, the better chance that the Chiefs have of getting more, maybe a little bit better wide receiver as they search to add one before the trade deadline. So I'm going with the Dolphins.
Here you go, DeAndre Hopkins. That's a good one, though. I'm going to go with the Dolphins, though, just because I like Hunt. I think they signed Huntley, I believe, and I believe in that guy. He's been very consistent. When he's on the field, he's very consistent. He's a warrior. I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins, man.
Yeah, I mean, he was good with the Ravens, but again, I think that's more so their defense and just kind of playing really tight games. I just don't see it. I mean, as bad as Tennessee has been last year, I think Levis, that was his best game of the year, was down in Miami, and I think they might have even won that game. High scoring game. I'm going to go with Tennessee, and this is the 5th best bet.
Wow.
Tennessee might be getting a point, which is really, I just don't see it. And especially, it would be one thing if it was like in the middle of the afternoon and the sun's beating down on them and it's like 1,000 degrees because, of course, the opposing team gets all the sun. But it's a night game. I'm going to go with Tennessee here. Best bet number 5.
All right.
All right, we got the Lions, the last one before the after the Chiefs. We pick them on the preview of the Chiefs. The Lions versus the Seahawks. So I'm gonna go with the Lions here at the home team to get the Seahawks their first loss. The cube said so. Do you agree, Nick?
Yeah, I'm going with the Lions.
Drake.
I got the Lions.
This is a tough one. I mean, Frank Ragnow, the center's out. Laporta's been hurting for most of the year. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's one thing to be the hunter, but then when you're the hunted now, I would take Seattle plus 3.5 in this game. I think Detroit may still win. This is a tough one for me to pick. I'll just go ahead and take Seattle. It's, again, not a best bet, but take the points.
All right, that's the Cube, guys. And the Cube been right. If you watch the YouTube channels, he's been right so far. He's making the bets. If you placed your bet, I know my brother-in-law won some money. So what you had to say? Hey, let's get right into it, guys. We have the preview of the Kansas City Chiefs.
The Chiefs play this week.
Let's
go. Hey,
we got
Sunday.
the Chiefs.
We're only 55 minutes in.
It's all good. That's how we keep our audience here.
We got the Chiefs and the Chargers from in a showdown of the Jim Har versus Andy Reid. Now let's get into the preview. What are you guys thinking for this game? What are your keys to winning this game, and what are you looking for to happen in this game? You looking for the offense to change it around?
I think right now, the Chiefs, honestly, they are powerhouse in this game as far as offense, as far as points production, as far as passing yards. They're nice. The only thing with Kansas City is this: they got to stop the run. They really got honed in on that run. The run sets up the play action pass, but the Chiefs is dominant on the offense side of the ball. And also, the Chargers is third in points allowed. So it's going to be an interesting matchup right now. Derwin James is done, guys. He's not playing, so it's going to be very interesting to see,
though. For me, I think obviously the Chiefs are the better team, probably better coached at this point, though. You guys know how much I love Jim Harbaugh, and I think, again, he's going to win a Super Bowl for the Chargers before he retires. But it ain't going to be this year. But, they've got with two their starting offensive tackles out. Herbert's not going to be close to 100%.
Right.
J.K. Dobbins looked ordinary last week after two really great games to open the season, so that's a concern. Quentin Johnson, the kid from TCU, has been playing lights out. I didn't think he had that kind of game in him. So if Herbert is able to play 75%, and if Bosa is able to play 50% of the snaps, maybe this is a 10-point game when it's all said and done. But for right now, I think the Chiefs just have way more talent. I think you're going to see Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce have a really big game. I think you're going to see Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt will score a touchdown in this game. I'm 100% convinced, especially in the short yardage. I think they'll give him the ball over Steele. But I just think Kansas City, has not looked good. This is the team. This is the moment. Primetime CBS. I think 96% of the country is watching this football game for the late game on CBS, which is insane.
I've got a sneaking suspicion our little corner, since the Browns are so close to us, it's not officially our team because Buffalo actually is the closest.
Right.
But I'm almost certain. Because the other way, the Bengals game was not the game here that week. I think whoever the Steelers were playing. So it was just, but I got the NFL ticket. It doesn't matter. But it just, for local people, you'd think, okay, this is the game that Nance and Romo are at. We should get that. Right.
Yeah, right.
So,
I listen again. I think the Chiefs I think Chris Jones is going to have a big game now. They're going to have Mike Dana. He's out, kind of injury that came up yesterday, and I think the Chiefs are being precautionary. FAU is going to get a chance. Felix is going to have a chance to shine. He made a really good play.
Maybe it'll be the coming out party.
Maybe it was by design to show, so let's see what he can do against two rookie tackles or two inexperienced tackles. So, listen, the Chiefs have the Chiefs have nothing to lose in this game because I don't think there's a challenger right now with all the injuries with the Chargers and the Broncos and the Raiders. This isn't as a must-win game as it is for the Chargers, obviously, if they're going to play Herbert. Now they're in the Chargers are in their bye week, so they can be cautious here. I just don't see them doing it, but I think Kansas City just has way too much to play for. They see the bigger picture. This is a big statement game for them. They can basically own the AFC West after 4 weeks to be 4-0, and I don't think anybody's going to catch them.
It just sucks that there's so many injuries on the other side.
It does.
I mean, you want to be able to play against their best to kind of see kind of like where this team is at. I mean, we know where they're at. We don't have to prove anything, but you like to, as we head towards the bye, to start, playing a little bit better and keep building as we move forward. That said, you have to come in, regardless of how beat up they are, with a sense of urgency. And you'd really love to see that. That's my first key to the game, is the Chiefs with a sense of urgency on both sides of the ball. Now, the defense, I think, has just played splendidly throughout the first 3 games. They have stopped the run for the most part. And it came up against Atlanta. I mean, but they had lost a couple of offensive linemen, but now the Chargers are missing offensive linemen.
Right.
So are they going to lean more into the run game because pass protection will be an issue? I don't think they want Herbert dropping back 40 or 50 times anyway. So this may be one of those slug it out, low scoring games between two teams.
And the Chiefs have been pretty good against the run.
Chiefs are much better. Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
So that would be my first key. The other thing is, if you do get a lead, and I said this last week too, is it kind of step on the gas, and because again, I keep saying, like a cat playing with their food, a lot of times they just let these teams hang around, and that leads into one of the other points as well, is finishing in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Kareem Hunt does help with that. I don't know if it's a blocking thing, if they just don't stick with the run once they get inside the 20-yard line, 10-yard line, whatever it is. But you'd like to see them cash those in. And then on defense, I'm saying hold the line of scrimmage, because the last thing you want is J.K. Dobbins to get a head of steam going, break the line of scrimmage, and then he's pretty much gone, or at least that's the way it's gone so far this year. So kind of in that run game, in terms of stopping the run, is hold the line of scrimmage, get some penetration. And then I think the Chargers, again, are just a wounded animal, which makes them dangerous, but you can
especially
really
with Harbaugh as the coach.
Put them away. Put them away as soon as possible.
I agree.
I'm looking at to see what Morris is going to do against Khalil Mack. To see, he did good last
Tough
game, but it's going to be a tough matchup to see what he do. And I'm looking for Worthy to have a better game than he had for the last 2 weeks. He had a good game his first week, but I'm looking for them to use him more. Put him in a little package deals, jet sweeps and everything else. Screen games, get him running, because a lot of people are playing, they playing that two safety high, cover, deep on the Kansas City Chiefs. You go up underneath and see where you can get with Worthy, man. And also, I'm looking for another breakout game from Rashee Rice to prove that he's that number one receiver that's in the lead, not just on the Chiefs, but in the lead, guys. So I'll put that, I'm looking for that, man. I just can't wait. I can't wait. I'm tired of the late game so far, man. I'm tired of. I'm looking for a noon game.
You won't have one. You won't have one for a while.
No.
We're gonna have one for a while, but hey, it is what it is. But what's your keys to the Chiefs winning this game, Dre?
No turnovers. No turnovers. Control the clock. Run the ball. Try to be out physical. Just try to match the Chargers' energy. Just mano a mano. Be physical up front, right? Just be physical up front with the Chargers. That's it. Because like I said, James is out of here. He's not playing. Is Joe Alt playing though, Lou?
No,
he's not.
Alt and Slater are both out, so that's why I'm saying that it's going to be tough for them. But who knows? Who the backups could come in and show out. Yeah, but that's my point. With them, right? This is where they need to show the urgency on offense and defense. Take advantage of whoever those backup tackles are, and really force them into a game they don't want to play, which is straight drop back. And then that's when Chris Jones takes over and everybody else, and the blitzes come, and it can get pretty ugly early, but the urgency has to be there, and let's go.
You make a good point. Force Herbert to throw the ball. Herbert to throw the ball, man. Don't put him in manageable third down, 3rd and 1. Force him to throw the ball. And the Chiefs does that. Chiefs got this game.
The thing with Worthy is I think, hence to your point, that they are getting the ball to him close to the line of scrimmage. What I'd like to see is him working maybe some of the intermediate areas and some of the deeper zones and so forth, and see what he can do in that vein, because there's only so much there's only so many of those plays that you can run, and it seems like they try so hard that teams are almost anticipating it, right? Because you rarely see the Chiefs hit a bubble screen and it's successful.
Yeah.
I don't know if that has to do with the other wide receivers not getting their blocks, or just teams they're showing some tendencies now, especially with Worthy. If he's in there, they're kind of looking for him to either it is going to be a jet sweep, or it is going to be, a bubble. It is going to be a quick pass. So that's what I want to see. Maybe a little bit more variety with X to see what he can do in those areas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you make a great point with Worthy too, because it's like, we've seen obviously the first game he was brilliant. I don't care about the blown coverage. He still was in the right place. He knew what to do. I think had Patrick had a little bit more time, I think he would have scored that touchdown against the Falcons that was intercepted by Simmons. But I'm with you, Lou. They can't just keep playing him at the line of scrimmage. They got to get him out downfield. They've been using him as a decoy, but they have to use him as a target, because at some point, teams are going to double team Kelsey, then they're going to double team Rice, and they're going to say, okay, let's let somebody else beat them. Yeah. And that's got to be Worthy. It can be Watson to some degree, or Juju, but Worthy's got to be the guy that even despite the deep coverages can still get in between, the linebackers and the safety for a 15, 20-yard catch over the middle. And they have to really make him more of a focal point. They got 2 winnable games, Chargers and the Saints at home on Monday night, a week from Monday before their bye week. And this would be a good time to kind of break out the young man and maybe design a few more plays for him.
Yeah. And it just comes down. Now, again, my theory on why they're doing that and why maybe the deep game isn't there is they're trying to protect the offensive line. No matter what anybody says, what anybody, whatever, as far as reads, play calling, whatever, I think the playbook is a little shrunk because they want to get the ball out of Patrick's hands quicker.
Fast, yeah. I agree.
They want to protect your rookie left tackle or an inexperienced left tackle in Wanya Morris right now. You don't want to expose him, especially with all these monster pass rushers that they face. It seems like week in and week out. And so there's kind of a, but at some point you got to let the kid go over the field and try to hit him. So
that's what y'all got him for, to go.
It's a fine line, and I'm sure Andy, he's the first one. He said the first play of the game against who'd they play the first against the Ravens. It was a Worthy go ball, basically.
The Falcons game too, and the Falcons at opening day too.
I think they're trying, but by the same token, they don't want to go overboard because they don't want to get Patrick killed.
Yeah.
Remember, it's time for them routes too. Them deep shots, it's timing, man. Them deep posts, you gotta have time in that pocket. So that's why they're doing it. And I agree with y'all 100%. They're just trying to take Patrick Mahomes, man, because that line ain't really too stable right now, especially the tackles and whatnot. So
yeah,
I'm looking for it, man. Like that. A lot of people ain't gonna be talking about it, but I think it's Christian McCaffrey, brother. I know his first name.
Luke McCaffrey.
Luke
McCaffrey. We can't let him get loose, right? Because I watched.
He plays for the Commanders,
right? Commanders.
You're talking about
Lad McConkey.
Lad McConkey. Yeah.
But you was close.
One of the they both.
I blame it on the Q.
He's a white guy, so yeah, he was close.
He's a white guy.
You can't let him get loose. The kid from Georgia. That's why I'm about to say the kid.
Same initials too. Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah. No, he's playing well. He's kind of accepted that that intermediate route. But again, it all depends on who's going to play. If Tyler Heineke's the quarterback, it's a completely different offense versus Justin Herbert. But again, you got to remember Jim Harbaugh's style is to pound the rock, play action.
That's it.
It's to run 2 out of 3 downs. It's to play good defense. Keep it a close game. Hopefully you get a big play or a turnover or a mistake. That's his bread and butter. And in this game, that's the key. If the Chargers dominate,
they'll really lean into it.
Yeah, he'll lean into it big time. Now, they may come out and throw some play action to begin to kind of throw the Chiefs off a little bit. But over the course of 4 quarters, that's the only chance they have to win. And without their stars and without, if Bosa doesn't play, which sounds like he probably will, but, he's not 100%. And Mac is the streakiest pass rusher I've ever seen in my entire life. He just has a game where he takes over, and in other games he just doesn't show up. So, this will be a good test for the tackles. But Don't underestimate Jim Harbaugh and having a game plan that can milk the clock, keep Mahomes off the field, make the Chiefs drive the length of the field like the three other teams have this year. But it's the Chiefs' job in the red zone. Don't settle for field goals, settle for touchdowns. Travis Kelce talked about that today as well. You know, that has to be the primary number one focus for this offense right now.
Urgency.
Yes.
So I'm looking for a big game. That's what I'm looking for. So what's your score predictions?
All right. Do we have our banner up?
Yeah, we have our banner, but
remember? I don't remember what I said. That was like 2 days ago.
All right, this is
what y'all do. Remember, put the banner up.
I'll go first.
Nick, why you got 27-17?
I got 27-17 because I think the Chiefs are going to struggle a little bit in the red zone. I don't think this is the week they're going to solve everything, but I think they'll be better. So, I think the 17 represents, late fourth quarter touchdown by Heineke, just to kind of make it interesting. But I got the Chiefs 27-17.
Drake, 28.
Oh, man, because the injuries to the Chargers, man, the O-line, man, the injuries to the secondary, man. I think the Chiefs are going to feast. So that's why I got 28-14.
Yeah, I got 38-17.
Ooh, bold.
Another shocker.
It will be a home game for the Chiefs too. Remember, it'll be a lot of Chiefs fans.
Oh my God, yeah, it's going to be home of the Chiefs, baby.
It's going to be a home of the Chiefs, and I feel like the Chiefs is going to get their old offensive back, and everybody going to see why.
He says that every week. No matter who they play, that number always starts with at least a 3. And I think points are going to be at a premium in this game. I think possessions are going to be at a premium. So either team loses the team that loses the turnover battle is really going to be behind the 8 ball just because of time. And you always see that, the more Patrick's on the sideline, the better chances that they have of winning. I mean, it's just that simple, and it's cliche and it's Mr. Obvious, but that's kind of the formula, right? And the more shots on goal that the Chiefs have, the more odds that they're going to score a ton of points. So that for that matter, I'll just keep the score down a bit, and the fact that they're kind of beat up in the offensive line. I mean, that's a killer. Take out the 2 starting tackles. They win a game like that. That's the Harbaugh's got even more.
He's genius.
Respect.
If they win, the Chargers upset the Chiefs, it's all Harbaugh, every bit of it.
Yeah. So Mango had him 33-17. He looked like the same score as mine. I don't know, but it is. But let's get right into our.
Did you guys do like a Madden simulation beforehand?
Did you play each other in Madden?
No, we didn't yet. We should keep running and hiding. So let's get right into our sponsors before we close out.
All right, before we head out, let's talk about our 2 corporate sponsors. First up, Mr. Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Group. If you're looking to buy or sell a house in the greater Kansas City metropolitan area, there's nobody I trust more. There's nobody who's more honest, and he'll make sure that you get the right deal. You can check out his website. Just click the logo here or on the website, and you can see what he's got available in the Kansas City market. So give Eric Haynes a call at 816-729-3785 or email esaleskc@gmail.com.
Proud sponsor of Chief Who?
Yes. Proud sponsor. Another proud sponsor is my incredible, amazing wife, Emily Athan. If you are looking for a health insurance quote, you're looking for health insurance for your family. Let's say you have a plan you don't like. Maybe you're on Cobra, open enrollment's coming up. You got an employee plan you want to maybe get out of. Listen, she knows the business, and she can just give you analyze everything for free, no cost. Let her consult with you. And if she can help you find a better plan with a national PPO and lower rates and deductibles, she's the person to get it done. 913-215-9086.
Emily.
Mickey loves Emily. Mickey loves Emily. He showed. So let's go. Also, who we do love is our fans and supporters.
Big shout out today to our women.
Virginia Hernandez, big man football.
Kathy Welch and Virginia Hernandez were on fire today. Very proud of them. Jerome Buckers was in the house. Ruben, as always, was in the house. What did she say? I can't get Stevie Nicks off the mind. That's pretty great. We like to, shake it up here as well. Let's see who else. So John Harrison was in for a little bit. Appreciate that, John. Kareem was here. Let's see. Man, I think that's the usual suspects today. Scrolling back here.
Guys, get out.
I think
there.
Denisha, Pamela Todd came in to say hello.
Tell your friends.
Her nephew.
We're friendly. Anybody that wants to
Gary, man. Gary's out there promoting us.
Look at that. Come on.
Look at that, Gary. Man, we love you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, please like the show, subscribe. You can actually contribute a few bucks if you want to by becoming a subscriber. It's not a whole lot of money every month. If you want to help us pay some of the bills around here, definitely be happy for you to pitch in. So with that said, guys, week 4 is upon us. It started last night. It's going to go through Monday night with a pair of games. Excited about this weekend. Chiefs and the Chargers Sunday, CBS, Paramount, 3 o'clock Central Time. Will the Chiefs be 4-0? We'll be back on Monday at 1:30 to talk about it all over again. And hopefully we'll be getting ready for a big Monday night matchup with the Chiefs and the New Orleans Saints.
Tuesday.
Let's go.
And the home of the
Chiefs.